Tell me a beautiful story, and I can't believe in fairy tale. I want you to not be worried. I think we all need help, but you so as before, waiting for love, life's in hope. We on my way to the start, and I see your eyes. Tell me a beautiful story, and I can't believe in fairy tale. I want you to not be worried. I think we all need help, but you so as before, waiting for love, life's in hope. We on my way to the start, and I see your eyes.
Hey guys! Welcome back to my channel. This is Tita Lavinia of Titas of Pageantry, and for this very short episode, I have Binibini #1 herself, the opener, Miss Samantha Panlilio. Hi Sam!
Hi everyone and hi Tita. Thank you so much for inviting me today.
Inviting me. Thank you so much for the lafang. Alam mo na yun.
Yes.
Alright, so we spent the day together, so I have a little bit of an idea about who you are, what you actually do, but our followers, they have no idea at all. So, Sam, we have very limited information about you on social media and on the internet, so please reintroduce yourself to everyone. What
Hi
you
everyone. Again, my name is Samantha Panlilio and I am representing Cavite. I actually just moved back from the US a couple years, 2 years ago to be exact, after doing college there. And so I decided to join Binibini so that I could challenge myself and really put myself out of my comfort zone. And, you know, especially with this pandemic, I think I've learned to even love it more, because at the end of the day, I think speaking for most of the girls as well, the reason why we want to join Binibini is because we want to be a spokesperson, and it's because we're fighting for something. And so, in my case, my advocacy is actually to build sustainable communities in rural parts of the Philippines, and that is also very inclined, very similar to what I do for work. I work with my family, and we also focus on land development, hotels, and resorts.
So guys, if you want to have your vacation, you know who to contact.
Yes, let me know.
Alright, so since I mentioned that information on you is very, very limited, how are you getting your causes out there? How are you letting people know that, hey, I'm Samantha, I'm competing at Binibining Pilipinas? Because I do understand the limitations these days. Everyone is I don't know, glued to social media? Are you doing like certain things to reintroduce yourself as well and to get your causes out there?
Yes, of course, Tita. Actually, during this COVID time, especially when we were on GCQ, I actually held a couple of donation drives. I helped COVID-19 Food Drive PH, and so we would actually cook 100 meals a day for different barangays and municipalities around Cavite, of course, and surrounding areas in Manila. And we did the same as well for the typhoons. And so I also did post a bunch of those pictures in my social media accounts, like my Instagram, just so, you know, hopefully I could get the word out and inspire other people to do the same, especially if you know, have extra resources. And so there's always time to help other people.
Maswerte naman ng Pilipinas, yung mga gusto tumulong, ang gaganda. Ako nga, hindi ako tinatamad ako tumulong eh. I mean, kidding aside, this is really a good thing when you have like these beautiful women, especially with the types na katulad mo na nakabase na sa ibang bansa, uwi lang dito para talagang makatulong. So, you talked about Cavite. Now, Cavite, of course, is a historical area. Ang dami nating pwedeng ihugot sa Cavite. Cavite is also quite near Manila, so ilang tumbling lang yun. But are there other things that we don't know about Cavite that you might want to shed more light on?
Sure. Cavite's, of course, like you mentioned, Tita, very known for their historical sites, and I'm sure you guys know about the sizzling bulalo that you can find in Balaynaco or Breakfast at Antonio's. But a lot of people don't really relate Cavite to having nice beaches, but we actually do. My family is also from Ternate, and so we have the Puerto beach there, and it's wonderful. It's really clear sand, and every year, or I think it happens twice a year, that some a field of jellyfish come, but they can't sting you. And when you dive there, it's really amazing. So that's something I think that most people don't really associate Cavite with.
But how is it like to be back? How is it like to resume whatever preparations that were put on hold some months back?
It feels quite surreal and very, very exciting at the same time, because I feel like for a lot of the girls, and myself included, I feel like I've been able to grow a lot more during this pandemic and really figure out what I want out of this pageant and why I'm joining. And so overall it's just very exciting. I was actually at our national costume exhibit 2 weeks ago, and it was so nice to just see everyone's costumes there. I also ran into a lot of the other Binibini girls, and so it was just a great reunion, and so I'm just very excited for what other activities we have in store.
Well, by now, those who will be doing a little bit of research on you will definitely come across the information that you are the niece of the very first Binibining Pilipinas, Miss Samantha Panlilio. Now, you did mention earlier when we were having our conversation that you never really got to know her. You were very young when she passed away. But how is it like carrying the Panlilio name back in the pageant scene? I mean, does it give you unnecessary pressure, or does it even push you to try and excel and do really well with that name given to you?
Well, of course, as my aunt, she's actually my father's cousin. Carrying the Panlilio name, it gives me a lot of honor, and also, yes, to be honest, yes, a bit more pressure to really uphold that standard for my Tita Myrna Panlilio. And just another fun fact is that when the 40 candidates were announced, as I was telling Tita earlier today, that a lot of different Panlilios from different parts of the world actually reached out to me. And so it was quite a fun family reunion, trying to connect everyone and to see how I'm related to Tita Myrna's brother, or how my dad is related to her brother. And it was just a very fun little Panlilio family reunion. So, yeah.
Sigurado ka ba doon? Baka naman.
Oo naman.
Sigurado ka? Baka naman.
It says Panlilio on their Facebook. So.
Patay tayo dyan. Pag may Panlilio na alam niyo na kung saan pupunta. I got to spend, a couple of hours with you, really, really fruitful afternoon with you. And I hope that the viewers could have more of an experience on how fun you are, on how you have like a really, really nice personality. It's very easy. You look very alta, but there's no trace of that alta snootiness in you. So I hope that they get to see this. But of course, one of the things that are just a little difficult to overcome is perception and your public persona. So if you're aware with how people view you with the Panlilio name and that jawline, that alta jawline. I mean, how do you try to let people know that you're actually quite approachable, that it's not in the way that you present yourself that's very put together?
Do I look matari ba, Tita?
Hindi, mukha ka lang mayaman. Mukha kang alta. Parang si Via Marcela. Jawline kasi.
Well, I think I'm just trying to be more versatile with what I post. I try to post more videos, and hopefully in the future I've been working on some more content, especially on Instagram. I actually have a cooking channel called @Wifey Worthy Meals, and so hopefully that you guys can see more of my fun and loving personality, as Tita said, on those videos.
Talk to me more about that. We never really got to talk about the cooking. I particularly remember during the height of the pandemic that you had like a short clip on cooking. I don't know if this was the one from Binibining Pilipinas or like one of the clips that you produced. And I was like, this girl is so skinny. She's doing a lot of cooking. Tell me about that cooking thing.
How it started.
How it started, how you got so good with it, because as you know, timpla-timpla, it's a little difficult.
Yes. So I moved to the US when I was 17 that myself just for college. And syempre, I missed my mom's cooking, and no one was there to cook for us. And most of the food was so unhealthy. And so I decided to really get into a healthier lifestyle, and the only way I could do that is to know what I'm putting into my own body. And so that's when I started cooking, and now that I'm back in the Philippines, I actually plan, like I mentioned earlier, to do a cooking channel where I would kind of uplift Filipino dishes. So I'm still experimenting. I've been going to the palengke and the grocery stores to look for different materials and ingredients. So I'm very excited about that.
Sigurado ka ba, Samantha, this is cooking real food? Hindi naman to cooking show, pageant cooking show. Wala namang ganon.
It's real food, guys. Very real, authentic, and yeah.
Good. Now, tell me a little bit about this decision to join Binibining Pilipinas, because you did mention that you joined Binibining Pilipinas to, open yourself up, to be more open to new challenges. I mean, girl, gusto ko rin na new challenges, pero hindi ko iisipin mag-Binibining Pilipinas. Like, when did this idea even
Come to my mind.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna join Binibini.
The idea came to my mind because when I found out my exact date for when I was leaving the U.S., and I've been there for 7 years, I really wanted to join something that would kind of expand my network with like-minded individuals. And I thought, what better network would that be than Binibini? Because obviously there are a lot of beautiful and smart, amazing women, and a lot of us have aligned goals in life. And so that was the main reason I joined Binibini. But of course, as the time passed, I also learned that I also want to be a spokesperson, which I also mentioned earlier.
But I feel that for normal people like us, joining to have like everything exposed to maybe like being more open with your body, because as we know in Binibining Pilipinas, your face isn't the only thing that gets scrutinized, it's everything. So talk to us about your preparations, like maybe your fitness preparation. Kairita, guys. Ang nipis.
So I actually am, ever since I was 20 years old, I've been trying very extreme diets, which I wouldn't recommend, of course, to a lot of people. But so right now I'm trying to go back to fasting, where I would fast for 2 days, and then on the third day I would only have maybe a meal or two, and then after go back to regular keto. Tita keeps moving the camera.
May waistline. Kairita.
But yeah, so fasting and working out, I think, works best for my body. Other diet regimens that I would recommend is keto. I think that helps a lot too. But other than working out and dieting, I'm part of the Kagandang Flores camp, and so we started our pasarela training as well. And we also have Q&A online sessions. So that's some of the things I do to get prepared for this.
Some women, well, maybe not some, but a lot of women really find it difficult to like regulate food, especially because this is rice country.
Yes. Very true.
But what aspect of your training is the most difficult for you, and which aspect of training is actually quite the easiest?
The easiest for me is the Q&A, training, as well as the diet. I think what's hard a little bit for me is the pasarela, because I feel like I haven't practiced in so many months now, and minsan matigas yung katawan ko. So that's really something I need to work doubly extra hard for.
When you say you have to work hard for it, have you considered like, or I don't know if you're already doing it now, because I feel like when somebody says matigas yung katawan ko, I would think, baliin natin yan. Have you considered like dancing or going through like other activities to maybe loosen up your joints?
Yes, I actually am going now to the chiropractor, because there's really something not naman wrong, but it's my body's not aligned per se. And I've also been doing heels dance classes para lumambot yung katawan. So yeah.
So, Binibining Pilipinas preparations, they're back. What about your arrangements, let's say, with wardrobe, with your designers? Was this ever put on hold, or if it wasn't put on hold anyway, where are you now in terms of like planning what your overall look would be?
before the pandemic hit, we already had particular looks ready, like the national costume. Of course, you guys already seen that. And as for the long gown and the evening gown, it's already set, and so it's just a matter of when it would be done. And of course, for the styling, I still have my same stylist, Matt Tanisha. So shout out to Matt. And we have been planning as well as we get more information on the soon-to-come activities for Binibini.
Okay, so my last question is that beauty pageantry in the Philippines is super cutthroat, and if you are a Binibini, of course you will always be a Binibini, but that also means that there are more when it comes to like expectations from you. So are you physically, emotionally, and mentally ready for these requirements, for these expectations? Because a lot of the Filipino pageant fans, especially because we've been on a diet, we are expecting excellence. What can we expect from a Samantha Panlilio?
I think that you could expect that I would be giving it my best and my hardest, and I think that especially given the time during the pandemic, I think that I have definitely put myself in a state where I am emotionally, physically, and did I say emotionally already? Because I feel super emotionally ready for this pageant. So yeah, I will just do my hardest, and I hope that this would take me to, or this would provide me an opportunity to hopefully represent the country in the near future.
May pahabol pa pala na question.
Yes.
So when you signed up for Binibining Pilipinas, if I'm not mistaken, they had more crowns and more titles at stake, and then somewhere along the line, we are now left with 4 titles.
Yes.
Have you considered which one you're aiming at, or are you trying to be more like holistic when it comes to your training?
Well, of course, you always have to aim for the highest crown, and of course, given our Philippines ranking and what the crowns are, the top one would, of course, be Miss International. And any crown that would be given to me is something that I would take as a responsibility towards my country to represent as well. But I'm also very open, and I actually have my eye on Miss Intercontinental, because I feel that watching old videos of years before for Miss Intercontinental, I feel like I do have the personality and maybe that persona that they might be looking for. And so although I'm open to all the crowns, I kind of have a special eye on that.
That is very refreshing. I've never heard that before. I mean, for someone who has been asking a lot of ladies over the years, this is very refreshing. So thank you for your candidness about that, and I of course hope the best for you. If I could just give you all of the crowns, lahat ng mga na-interview ko, kung pwede natin bigyan ng bertud yan, sana binigyan ko na. But we expect no less. So I don't know if that's gonna motivate you or if that's gonna creep you out, but please enjoy the ride, because this is of course a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and we wouldn't want you to have horror stories with beauty pageantry. This is a community that I love. This is a community that I'm really, really passionate about. So welcome to the club, Samantha. Thank you for spending time with us.
Thank you so much.
Good luck.